Welcome to the Deep Dive. We look at stories that honestly seem almost too strange to be real, and we try to pull out those key insights that help you understand things a bit more deeply. Today we're looking into a case that really deeply shook a community. It starts with a marriage that, from the outside, looked perfect,
Yeah.
rooted in faith.
Absolutely.
But it ended in just an unimaginable tragedy. We're
Yeah.
talking about Lauren and Matthew Phelps.
Right. They got married back in 2016, both really active in their Baptist church in Raleigh, North Carolina.
It seemed idyllic.
Yeah.
But then fall 2017 rolls around, and this whole world just unravels.
Yeah.
Horrifically.
And it all kicked off with this incredibly haunting, confusing 911 call.
Yeah.
So our mission today really is to try and understand that stark contrast, the life they showed the world versus the hidden reality. This deep dive is about peeling back those layers, looking at how appearances can be so different from what's actually going on inside.
And it all starts with that call, the one that just baffled investigators.
Totally baffled them.
Okay, so let's start with Lauren Phelps. Paint us a picture of her life, at least as people saw it.
Well, on the surface, she seemed full of life, purpose. She was a dedicated Sunday school teacher, really involved with her church community.
Okay.
And beyond that, she had this real entrepreneurial streak. She was quite successful with Scentsy.
Oh, right, the home fragrance company. Wax
Yes.
warmers, candles, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And it wasn't just a side hustle. Her work actually gave her significant financial independence.
Wow.
And that flexibility, the sort of stay-at-home lifestyle, that was something she really valued.
And her interests seemed pretty normal, relatable.
Yeah, totally. Like cute outfits, was into Star Wars, loved dogs, loved children, just seemed to embody this really wholesome life.
Okay, so that's Lauren. Now Matthew. He was training to be a pastor.
That's right. Studying, training, actively working towards becoming a pastor at their Baptist church.
And in the Baptist faith, that role is pretty central, isn't it? Leading services, sermons.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very public role, leading services, preaching, counseling members of the congregation, often seen as a kind of moral guidepost.
Different from, say, an elder who might handle more behind-the-scenes stuff.
Precisely. Which, makes what eventually happened even more jarring.
How did they meet?
They met around mid-2014. By November that year, they were a couple.
And Lauren's family liked him.
They really did. Saw him as this honest, clean-cut guy. They genuinely believed the two were destined to be together.
A match made in heaven, from the outside looking in.
That was definitely the perception.
And there's social media. I mean, especially around the engagement. Valentine's Day 2016 and the wedding. It really pushed that image.
Oh, completely. Posts showing a life that was beyond happy. Perfect, even.
But you have to wonder, how much of that is real? How much is just curated?
Exactly. Because what the world saw online, it was a facade. Carefully constructed.
Right.
The truth behind closed doors was incredibly different, much darker.
So despite all those happy pictures, Lauren was actually miserable.
By many accounts, yes. Almost from the start of the marriage. And her family points directly at Matthew as the source of that misery.
Saying he wasn't the man he pretended to be.
To put it bluntly, yeah. Not at all the man he claimed to be. It's just such a stark reminder, isn't it? Social media gives you maybe a slight glimpse.
Very slight glimpse. Okay, so if the perfect picture was fake, where did the cracks start showing? What was really going on?
Well, the biggest cracks started with money. Matthew had a serious problem with money.
So.
The sources say he was spending money like he was a member of Congress, but his income...
Let me guess. Low.
Virtually nothing. So completely unsustainable. It's pretty safe to assume he was racking up significant debt, though we don't have exact figures.
And Lauren knew this. She seemed financially savvy.
She was, and she tried to stop it. Tried to limit his access to their bank accounts, put up safeguards. He'd always find a way around them. Always. Which naturally led to constant arguments. Big ones.
Was it just recklessness or something deeper?
It seems deeper. The sources suggest maybe the buying itself was almost an addiction, a way to, hide his pain and discomfort.
Asking something else?
Yeah, projecting an image he wanted suggests he was deeply unhappy with his life, even though it looked perfect. And that unhappiness probably fueled the spending.
And it wasn't just the money. There were darker interests developing, too.
Yes. He had this affinity for horror movies and the macabre. Lots of people do. But his obsession with one film in particular, American Psycho.
Right, the movie with Christian Bale.
That's the one. He was obsessed. He'd even dress up as characters from the film for Halloween or parties.
Which, looking back, that's unsettling.
Deeply unsettling. And it wasn't just like a casual fan thing. This obsession started bleeding into his real life.
How so?
It hinted at this really disturbing inner world. And some warning signs came quite early, chillingly early.
Like what?
He apparently confessed to a friend, just sort of casually, that he often wondered what it would be like to claim someone's life.
Whoa. Just said that.
Yeah. And the friend noticed this strange energy about him when he said it. Like it wasn't just a passing morbid thought.
Like he'd actually considered it.
Exactly. Something that resonated with him. It feels like the spending, the unhappiness, the American psycho obsession. Maybe they were all connected, different ways he was trying to cope or control a reality he hated.
Wow. Okay. So all this must have been terrifying for Lauren.
Absolutely. She started getting scared, suspected he wasn't faithful, worried the whole relationship was falling apart because he wouldn't change his spending.
Which was crucial for their future plans, right?
Yeah.
Starting a family.
Totally critical for her. Financial stability, responsibility. That was non-negotiable if they were going to have kids.
So she's living in this constant state of anxiety, suspicion.
It's like an emotional prison. The trust was just eroding day by day, financially, personally.
And her fear about him being unfaithful, was that founded?
Tragically, yes. Her sister later revealed something devastating, just hours before the crime. Lauren apparently saw Matthew sneaking out.
To be with another woman.
That's what Lauren believed.
Yeah.
And they'd been arguing intensely about this alleged affair right before everything happened.
Oh my God. The sense of betrayal she must have felt in those final hours.
It adds such a chilling layer to what happened next.
Which brings us to September 1st, 2017, the night it all fell apart.
Yeah.
What was Matthew's story about that night?
His claim later was that he'd taken a high dose of cough medicine to sleep. Said he was tormented by twisted dreams.
Blaming the medicine.
Yeah, suggesting a side effect could be wild dreams. Though it's worth noting, there were also rumors, unconfirmed, that he might have been using harder stuff sometimes too.
Okay. And then there's the 911 call.
Yeah, the call itself is deeply disturbing. Became absolutely critical evidence.
What is he?
He told the dispatcher he'd had a terrible dream. Woke up, found Lauren on the floor, said the room was covered in red stains,
Oh, God.
a knife on the bed, and that he himself was covered in red from head to toe.
And didn't he trail off at one point?
He did. The most chilling part, he says, "I think I killed myself," and just stops. You hear shock, sobs, claiming Lauren didn't deserve this.
It sounds like someone waking up to an absolute nightmare they caused.
On the surface, yes. That's the picture it paints.
But investigators didn't buy it right away, did they? This is where his story started to crumble.
Not at all. Almost immediately, red flags went up for the police when they arrived.
Why? What wasn't right?
Well, despite him saying on the call he was covered in red, head to toe, when police got there, he was strangely clean.
Clean. Not blood-soaked, like he said.
Exactly. It didn't match the frantic description. Detectives pretty quickly figured he must have cleaned up long before he ever called 911.
Okay, that's a huge inconsistency. What about the cough syrup excuse?
That fell apart too. The manufacturer was contacted, and they stated they had zero evidence linking their product to violence or anything like that.
So, no medical basis for his claim.
None that they could find. Plus, his initial demeanor. Investigators noted he seemed surprisingly lacking in remorse. He wasn't shedding real tears.
Which would be odd if you'd just woken up to that horror.
Extremely odd. It just didn't add up.
So the scene, his appearance, his demeanor, it all contradicted his nightmare story. The facade was cracking wide open.
It really was. That cough syrup story felt like an attempt to deflect, maybe even cover up something premeditated.
Trying to create an alibi, however bizarre.
Exactly. And the whole narrative really collapsed during his trial. He made this shocking shift.
What happened?
He admitted guilt to the judge, basically said, more or less confessed, that the cough syrup probably had nothing to do with it.
Wow.
And when the judge asked him straight up, "Are you admitting guilt?" he just said yes.
Why? Was it remorse or a legal tactic?
That's the debate. Prosecutors, observers. Some thought maybe genuine remorse finally hit him. Others suspected it was purely strategic to avoid the death penalty.
Either way, that admission changed everything. It laid bare the truth.
It did, and it pointed investigators towards what was really motivating him. What they found really unmasked him.
What was it?
A lot of it was hidden in plain sight, really. On social media, detectives found 2 Instagram accounts he ran.
2 accounts.
Yeah. One was called Martyr Radical, and it was almost entirely dedicated to American Psycho.
Seriously. Just content about that movie.
Almost exclusively.
Yep.
And the profile picture, Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, covered in red spatter.
Chilling. What was the other account?
Uncanny Maddie. And its bio was maybe even more unsettling. It read, "I can't seem to tell if I am dreaming anymore."
Whoa. Blurring the lines between dream and reality himself.
Exactly. These accounts give this unfiltered look into his dark obsessions, a mind where fiction and reality were getting dangerously mixed up. It confirmed how deep that American Psycho thing went.
So putting it all together, the police theory became pretty clear.
Yeah. They believed Matthew, fueled by that American Psycho obsession, combined with rage over Lauren controlling the money, her threats of leaving him, discovering his affair, he just snapped.
And the crime itself.
Their theory is he essentially enacted one of his favorite scenes from the movie, the sheer number of wounds, more than 120 individual wounds.
My guy.
And then the methodical cleanup before the 911 call, the manufactured story. It all suggested a calculated act after an explosion of rage, not some dream state.
And Lauren's family, did they see signs beforehand? Their insights must be heartbreaking.
They are utterly heartbreaking. Her father noticed a big change in Lauren in the weeks before she died, said she seemed paranoid, afraid, and worried.
Like she sensed something was wrong? Or getting worse?
It suggests that, yeah, maybe she was picking up on signals that his dark side was becoming more real, more threatening.
And her mother.
She described Matthew as a master manipulator. She believed the crime was premeditated for months.
Though the sources say there wasn't concrete proof of that long time frame.
Right, no definitive evidence for months of planning, but the manipulation aspect certainly resonates. She also shared some alleged details from the police that most of Lauren's wounds were from behind. The horrifying idea that maybe he knocked her down, sat on her, attacking her while she was defenseless.
That's just unbearable to imagine.
It really is. And her father's words, they stick with you. He said, "I'll take it to my grave and I'll still hate him." Just raw, enduring pain.
And the outcome, Matthew Phelps.
Sentenced to life in prison, no possibility of parole, finality, legally speaking, but obviously no real closure for the family.
No. This case. It just exposes that massive gap, doesn't it?
Right.
Between the public face, the pastor in training, and the darkness hidden beneath.
And an unfathomable chasm. The source material calls him a fraud, a wolf in sheep's den, which feels accurate considering his religious role.
Yeah.
And it's so important to remember his actions are the absolute opposite of the Christian ideals he supposedly aspired to. Loving neighbors, helping others. He strayed so incredibly far from that path.
That's deeply unsettling.
It really shows how far someone can drift from a path of supposed goodness.
And I guess this deep dive really forces you, the listener, to think. How much can we ever truly know about people? Even those we think we know well. What might be hiding under even the most perfect-seeming surface? What signals do people miss? It's a question that lingers long after you hear the facts,